go in the past, but conditions have, in the last couple of years after the resurfacing and reprofiling of the track, we'd expected the lap time.
It was a proper bonfire. It was properly on fire. Flames sort of 3 foot high off the tank tacks with that. Jorge Lorenzo is the fastest man around here in race conditions. 2 minutes dead, 0.606. But I can suggest it perhaps it was Tony Robbins' book, you know, How to Make Your Next Million or whatever it was, and he just looked very seriously.
Person in Moto 3 put slicks on at the end, and Moto 2 they've been on slicks, but it's not been ideal.
Scary to come across all of a sudden. You're out there for the first time in this FP3 session. He's not got to worry about. See, I'd quite like one either side of the fairing on the front, you know, like wing mirror.
Like wing. Don't suggest it.
Here, and a lot of work in between them. He was wearing second-hand leathers yesterday.
Come out with them on these 3 flyaways, so with that,
you can't dry them out in this humidity. It's just the work
through the middle of the paddock. And myself and our script supervisor Norma,
so the whole place is just soaking up moisture everywhere. Imagine what it's like, and we're staying on the sea.
They're getting good with that magnifying glass like yesterday. It was hand.
Yeah, now we got.
I just wanted on Sunday. When we spoke to Lucio off camera, he wouldn't say on screen whether Cal Ride was not going to be the 2019 stuff. They weren't going to get that until the Sepang test at the beginning of next year. So it's
going back to the Isle of Man. Wife Lucy is over here, of course, overseeing. Aleix won't be too happy about that, I'm sure, because it was slightly unnecessary. But we are FP3
job.
If they are highlighted in white, they're already through to qualifying too. But here, front tyre was a medium. Hello, Malborough taking the place. What's this all about? They had Maverick's tyre looked like it pretty much run out by the end of the race, but it was perfectly judged, and he still took the win. Whereas Valentin
for Marc Marquez, they are a full 1.2 seconds off where they were yesterday. So actually, in terms of the long race run, seen as he gone out with a new tyre, but clearly not. He's done 4 laps and come straight back in.
2 minutes, points.
Pre-season testing here, or has this been a development through the year with the upgrades that you've had?
Yeah, I think the bike is in a different chassis. The same chassis, I don't know if you remember, I would say the bike is slightly changed, and also the setting is different because we went...
It's not on the same track, so a good question from JT, but at the end of the day, it's going to be a completely different set of scenario.
The year after next, we'll get onto that in a second. The one thing that struck me though is, since Assen they've had this they know as soon as the concessions
are gone. I mean, next year they've got no concessions again, and that one.
And it just means we get great racing. It means we get unpredictability. We're asking whether it was you
money, which is a right way round of doing it.
Makes sense in a way.
Well, if you want a competitive second half of the field, way around here into turn 9, it's a tricky bottom gear corner, and there are just
crew chief.
You mentioned a minute ago wild cards, and of course wild cards are an important factor.
In Australia, wasn't it? Qualifying 15th and then actually 10th in the race.
But he looked away from me.
No, because I know you're going to say that it's only in race trim. It's only in that.
I understand what people are saying about the big black book and the on-track knowledge that Danny brings with it. Sound that way. I'm just trying to think of it through the
asked about so much. Why does he want to go testing and extend that even further? Because
not making the data that the team need to improve.
He said data again, and that's something JT mentioned there. Factory team a week to prepare a report on the previous race. They know everything that is going on in every part of that bike. There's a sensor and there's data from it.
Again, disseminate the kind of data that even Cal Crutchlow's coming up with.
Cal's losing his data engineer. Actually, he's going to go to Jorge Lorenzo in the championship back as a 125 rider all those years ago. This weekend, though.
Very few, and considering how fast everyone is going,
and the track, isn't it?
Get involved at BT Sport Motor GP if you want to join us. We'd be into this massive area where there are food vendors, and it's just a great atmosphere.
See him, he is a demon on the brake.
Straight line braking on the Ducati, it's very stable, I think.
It's stable, yeah, but compared to Vinales yesterday, it's still a second off.
Just to confuse it still.
Yeah. 2 minutes 4 from
2 minutes 4, that's getting close. Right, now we've got 17 minutes left of this free practice 3 session. The ones that you've got to watch out for are the likes of
So Petrucci was saying then what happened was he was going around turn 2, problem with the clutch.
They are so secretive regarding seamless gearboxes.
Yeah.
That's still and are dropping away from you.
2 saves in that corner yesterday.
This session he'll be wanting to go straight through to qualifying 2. Personal best 2:01.25
on a good run of decent laps, isn't he?
He's back to being the Maverick Vignale. That looked like a Decimus Adichie. It was. It was Michele Pirro that was down. So Pirro crashed at the final corner. That
almost a qualifying session, though, isn't it?
Yeah, he's got to qualify for qualifying. And spinning out, I'll change some curbings, but the profile at that final corner. So you can be out with that. But he's right. The mass of the fuel that you tip in is less when it's much cooler. An advantage. I didn't think anybody was going to be close on fuel limits here. But interesting that JT's picked up on the fact that they're looking at that down there at Ducati. So they must be...
JT.
They did the same thing to Honda yesterday when JT went in there, and now they've done it again.
Plastic here for the bodywork, but this bit there's no cover on as well. So let that heat get outside.
This is the first attack from Zarco by the looks of things.
Well, Zarco's in the top 10 at the moment.
Yeah, but trying to save his place a bit more. There he is.
Braking from 318 k's to 72. Using a bit of foot.
Weird.
Why is that not weird?
Some of us never got motorcycles as a child.
We're looking at here, medium front was new when he went out, new rear as well.
Got him in. Two following. A big one for Havis Sarin, of course, in his first Malaysian Grand Prix as a MotoGP rider. Do you know what?
He's in. Bautista's in. Yannone's out. So Bautista has gone across the line.
That's the stuff of the weekend, Keith.
Yes, it is. So
from Vinales and Miller here. Yeah, Vinales goes top 59.4. But I told you, didn't I? 59.3.
It's good on the bike. Fits as one. Jack Miller, 59.3 it was. 59.3 it stays. Two long straight. Morbidelli, the computer was right. Yes, it usually is.
Very intense. Marquez at 59.2.
That's done it then.
Watch out for Vinales. Here he's
in the bubble now. Here comes Vinales over the line. Does he go top? Yes, he does. 59.231. Pinches it by
Morbidelli fans.
Here's Pirro.
You know what?
Stone bike this week. To the line, it's quite a long way up before it breaks the beam. Only look at that. He's
been doing the odd thing on the Aprilia, hasn't he? Good result last time out for Aleix, but it wasn't to be this time. And one of the few
yesterday, whether that's track conditions or they've gone the wrong way. Those boys will be experimenting probably with racing in a factory team. Generally means that sharing of data.
What's the yaw here?
Yeah, Danny Pedrosa. He's made that work. So, Maverick Vinales.
Gonna comment. I can't, people in glass houses and all that.
I was going to say, I can't either in that case. Vinales, Marquez, Miller, Pedrosa. Hope you do again when you see it. But we wonder who's going to be on.